Hello, this presentation is about accounting. We did for our consulting group did for a film studio company. They're behind their backlog of entering in the in billing of their billing department, their invoices, their accounting side. So the numbers of the presentation and the dates and many of the names have changed for the purpose of the presentation. So let's start out with most of the invoices we're doing were just basic ones. Say like this one here, you can see for is 5,012 total dollars that was received in a net of 30 days. And we even had the invoice log that we created for the company itself with the the basic information that obviously would change the presentation, but the client like say whomever pictures of that 5,000. In the invoice, we had line items themselves that we all had to enter in. And so when you open up this days of production services, say you had 3 of them at 450 a pop, that ended up being 1,350. So the invoice total at an 8% sales tax, that's that 5,012.23. When you look at the payments were 10426 and 3662. Those are the check numbers. You also have a good invoice log that tells about that, but it ends up being here's your invoice of 512 of net of the terms of 30 days. So next I want to go to is look at the billing items. Here's just to get a little bit more in depth. We did a lot of the billing. So you look at the days of production services again, and you see it's the unit price of 450 at $10 an hour as a day rate. You look at that revenue, and there's the client name with the project that equals that 1,350 as mentioned earlier. The other thing I want to point out on the items detail of the list, if you look at the camera had a replacement cost of this because it has purchase information in for it with that certain serial number, and this client really wanted that because they were getting things from all over the world at a unit price that had a 50% markup. So that was even a little bit better deal in these worldwide deals. And then quotes, there's a lot of quotes for them. So basically they wanted information for different clients when they're pre-production route or their post-production, their editing route. So like this one here was pre, it had a film interview, was their project title that they did. And this was also a $1,428 because it had its own job number. That's how they wanted their their accounting done, because at each individual cost had that line item, had a certain job number for it. And here's you get your days of production back into it. It's that same one that we were talking about, just at a 1 day of service this time at 450 rate. That's just that same quote that we mentioned earlier. And finally, you look at the reports. Say we want to do this to report. We were doing these often, and just to show what we did on the invoices side. So you take that report. You usually ended up always sending these, whatever we did for that week. Now it was always lots and lots filled of invoices showing it out, but the point of this is just to show that one line item that we were talking about earlier can quickly be customed and sent off to the managers. Thanks for the attention of this presentation.